everyone. So hopefully today we'll be fixing the Panasonic Omnivision 4 here. Still got it at the same issue it had last time, where it's got the jittery picture and you can hear the audio is kind of warbly. Got a lot of wow and flutter, whatever you want to call it. So I have a friend who has a similar machine and he had the same issue. And from what he's told me, it appears to be one capacitor. So I will try and take it apart and replace that one capacitor if I have it. And we'll see if that fixes the problem, because there's really nothing else wrong with this machine other than that. So let's take it apart. All right, so that capacitor right there in the middle of the screen is supposed to be the problem. So I'm gonna pull that out and see what the value is. So this is a 0.33 microfarads at 50 volts. The capacitor in question is C204. At least that's the theory. So I'm gonna see if I have one here. 0.47 at 50 volts. That might be close enough to work, so I'll try that. Well, it seems a little bit more stable, but we're still having some issues here. It's locking on the picture a little bit better, so that definitely helped, but I don't think that's the only issue we're having. Hold on, actually, I just tried a 0.22 and I got a different effect. Of course, now it's not locking, but I'm gonna try a few different capacitors in here. Okay, well, this problem has decided to make itself much worse. As you can see, we are now missing the piece that we need to solder to. So I'm gonna have to cut back some material there and see if I can get a good place to solder to. So though we have that problem to deal with, that is definitely was the issue. If I very gently, without shorting anything out, do that. All right, well, it's not locked on. Oh, there we go. Now we're locked. See that? No warble. So this is the fix, but I gotta fix that solder joint now, or whatever you want to call it, the pad. Okay, so it's far from perfect, but this ended up being the best solution. I just traced it and used the leg of one of the capacitors and a bit of insulation from a wire to put it together. There's the cat. But we are working now. No warble. Which is good. There is an issue though, and this probably has to do with the fact whenever I mess with the potentiometers, I have to have the tracking all the way up or all the way down for the track. I was messing with the capstan speeds, which I'm actually probably gonna have to go and recalibrate long play, because I was messing with that one. Standard play, I messed with it and I kind of got some, but then I look down here, tracking fix. Now I've got it in the divot, separated by a pattern of ridges. And now, look at that. The ridges are lowered. Solid picture. The VCR is working fine now, but as you can see, I've taken it apart again. That's another issue I'm working on. What I will say though is I had to adjust a little bit more to get the extended play or super long play playing correctly. I don't know if long play is right. I don't have any tapes that are long play. I don't know if any of my other recorders can record long play at the moment. I'm not really too worried about it. I think really the only thing I'm going to be playing is standard play anyway. The reason why the rest of this is pulled apart again, this bulb has been out and it's always annoyed me. And it's one of these little tiny incandescent bulbs. Well, it just so happens that these are pretty much exactly the same as what's on a lot of cars' instrument clusters. So I'm gonna order that on Amazon. Tried to find a set that wasn't too bright because I'm not going for brightness here. It's just to show the numbers. But it'll be interesting soldering that in, but for now I'm gonna have to wait for that stuff to come in. Okay, so machine's put back together. VHF dial light works now. Of course, the UHF already worked. I know it's a little bit dimmer, but I'm not too bothered by that. The fact is they both work now. it would have been more hassle to try and replace that than it would have been worth, you know, cutting the bulb out and whatever. So it's good for now. And besides, it's mainly going to be on channel 3 anyway, which only requires VHS to be lit up. Anyway, this machine is functioning now. There's no more of that warble. You know what? Here, we'll pull out a different tape here. I've been using that one for testing so much. We'll do some Jimmy Neutron. Fast forward a little bit into the tape. It's probably good.
To a bikini bottom without putting on a wetsuit.
So there is, it's not always easy to see. Whenever you see a straight line, you can see it. There's a little bit of a curvature at the very top of the screen. Well, I'm not too worried about that. My Quasar also does the same thing. And sometimes it has to do with macrovision. It seems like, because tapes without macrovision behave a little bit differently on this machine. I wouldn't think macrovision this machine would even remotely care about macrovision, although it could also be the set, but I don't know. It just happens, and it doesn't really worry me, so it's whatever. So we're fully functional now, and thank you to Axel for pointing out the capacitor that I need to replace. I will link his video in the description. So if anyone else has the same issue, you can watch his. He goes a lot more in depth than I did. But yeah, so that's all for now. Thank you for watching.